Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name's Elaine and I'm Ellie Welly Stitcher, both here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Welcome to everybody. Really glad to see you all again. It feels like it's only been about 5 minutes since I last filmed because I'm back after 2 weeks instead of 3 as promised. So thank you for returning if you've been to visit with me before, and you're very welcome here to all my new subscribers, and I have got a few, so thank you very much for liking and subscribing. I hope you like what you see and I hope that you'll come back again. So I've got quite a lot to talk about, probably less stitching actually and more other stuff. So I have of course got some stitching to show you, but it feels like not as much as I normally have. Anyway, you can let me know what you think. I have got the answers to some questions. So in my last video I asked if anybody had any questions for me because I never seemed to get any, and you guys came up trumps and gave me some, so I was really excited when I read your comments and got some questions, so I'm going to answer those in a minute. I've also got a haul to show you, of course, and I have some detail for you around the stitching retreat that I spoke about in my last video as well. And probably a little bit about life as we go along too. So let's start with showing you my stitching. Oh, before we start, I'm filming a bit later today and I'm a little bit flustered, so if I muck this up I apologise, but I've just been on one of Dizzystitcher's Zoom meetings this morning when I normally would film a Flosstube on a Saturday morning. So I've been a bit rushing about trying to put all my bits and pieces together for this. Oh, and also I've got the results of my giveaway for the Heaven and Earth Design PDF that I put up last time, so we'll do that as well. Okay, told you, a bit all over the place, aren't I? Sorry. Okay, so let's start with my WIPS and then we will do your questions, then we'll do haul, then I will talk to you about the stitching retreat. Okay, so WIPS, like I say, I don't think that I've done as much as normal, but we'll see what you think. So the first one I have worked on, and it's the one that I always work on, show you first, which is my Heaven and Earth design. It's unicorns, valleys of waterfalls. The artwork's by Jan Patrick Krasny, and I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and also the finished piece. And you're probably not going to notice too much difference. I've only put 1,000 stitches into this one, so here is where we are with it now. So I've literally almost finished the bottom of this mountain. I think I said in my last video I was gonna start stitching some of these park threads in, but I decided to kind of bite the bullet and carry on until I've got, because down here, this bit here where it's straight across here, this is a page finish and I really want to get that page finish, so I'm not far off it now. I thought I'd do it after my last video, but like I say, I've literally picked this one up for a couple of evenings, 3 evenings, so yeah, I've only done, like I say, 1,000 stitches on it, so not a lot, but I think I should get that page finished in time for my next video, hopefully. So So yeah, that's where we are with this one. So this one is stitched on 25 count easy guide, and it's 1/1 full cross. So there we go. Oh, and just to answer one of the questions while I've got it out, so Nature Girl asked what frame I use for my Hare. So this is an Albastitcher frame, and I think it's the biggest one that they do. I think it's 36 inches wide. So yeah, and it's fine, and it holds this one okay, to be fair. I have got a couple of new frames on order from Needful Needs. I've ordered a Necessaire stand from them, and I've also ordered a couple of Millennium frames to go with it, but they haven't arrived yet. I'm patiently waiting. I ordered from them last December, and I'm still waiting, and you know, impatiently, I have to say. In the meantime, I ended up going out and buying a Lowry stand, which I said I wouldn't do, but I did, and I'm glad I did, because it's just been a godsend. It's brilliant, but I still really want my Necessaire stand. And I do know that there is an issue with anything kind of handmade like that at the minute, because I'd quite like to get a little Patoki stand as well that I can use for my smaller projects, but I know people have been waiting sort of 10-11 months for them. So I think all these small artisan type factories have kind of been a bit overwhelmed with orders during the pandemic, and so they're kind of struggling to get people's orders out to them. So you know, I'm hoping that I will eventually get my Millennium frames and my Necessaire stand by maybe Christmas this year. Would be a really nice Christmas present. I'd be delighted. So so anyway, that I digress. That's unicorns, and yes, on an Albastitcher frame, which they're inexpensive, and it does the job, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not, I wouldn't not recommend them, they're fine. Okay, so that's where we are with unicorns. So the next full coverage piece that I worked on is my mini. So again, I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time, and also the finished article. So again, this is by Hare. So this is Heaven and Earth Designs. It is artwork by Randall Spangler, and it is the mini version of So Many Books, So Little Time. And I have put a bit more into this one than I did last time you saw this. So I have done over 1,000 stitches on this one, and I got really carried away with this one for a few evenings. I really was enjoying stitching it, am enjoying stitching it. So I wasn't feeling the love for this one last time, if you remember, but I've really got the stitchy bug back for this at the moment. So I carried on over here with this little bit here. I've done some more of the moon, I've done a bit more on his body, so I've dotted about quite a bit. But I have got to 13% completion on this one now. And if you remember me saying, I said that this one I'm doing for the 21,000 stitches in 21 full coverage fanatics challenge, and I've done 12,000 stitches on this now. So I've only got 9,000 to go. So hopefully I should be able to do that by the end of the year. So yeah, that's where we are with him at the minute. So quite pleased with my progress on him, and it has been a nice bit of stitching. I've really enjoyed working on that one. Okay, so the final full coverage piece that I've worked on over the last couple of weeks. So normally I have 4, don't I? but I haven't worked on Feast at all over the last 2 weeks, so I'm not going to show you that one. He will come out today, probably later today. I'll put some work into Feast. But the other one that kind of has consumed my evenings has been this one, which is Cheese Delivery by Pain Free Crafts. The artwork's by Chris Dunn, and I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time, and also the finished article. So I'm really excited to show you this one. So here is where we are now. So I have a mouse, people. He's not quite finished yet, but I have a mouse, and we have some more little cheeses that have come in down here. And I've been a bit naughty because I really should have cut this. Here is definitely the end of this piece. I'm in the last box over here. So this is the end. This is as big as it gets in width, that is, obviously. But I just really wanted, I was getting a bit fed up with keep stitching ceiling. And I thought, oh, blow it. I just want to stitch a mouse just to see what one looks like. So this one has had at least 2,500 stitches in it. At least. It's probably nearer 3,000 actually. And I am 16% complete on this one now. So this one is on 28 count easy guide, and it is a 2/1 tent stitch. And yeah, and it's coming along nicely. This mouse at this whole bit here, particularly the mouse, is super confetti. I'm sure Lauren at Flossabilities will vouch for that, because she's stitching this as well. She's much further along than I am, much further along, but yeah, it has meant that the back of my piece over this side is a real hot mess of like loads and loads of single stitches. It really is a rug, but still, never mind. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress on this one, and I think I might do some of this bit next as well, and then I will go back and go finish across there. But yeah, really enjoying doing this one as usual. So that's my 3 full coverage pieces that I've worked on. Okay, so moving on to my smaller projects. So the next one that I've worked on, and I think I've made quite good progress on this. So this is a stitch along that I was doing with Albastitcher. I say was because she finished hers weeks and weeks ago. So, you know, I'm proper lagging behind, although I think a couple of the other guys that are doing this as well, I haven't seen any progress reports from them either. But this is Little House Needleworks, and it is Home of a Needleworker. So I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And I'm pleased with my progress on this one as well. So here is where we are at now, and I said last time I could see the end in sight, but I really can now. So this house at long last is completely finished, and it has taken me ages, absolutely ages. It is a really easy stitch, this one. I do like stitching it. As you can see, I'm on the wording now, so I've got needlework a bit to finish. There's like another one of these branchy things that comes up the side of the house here, and then there's some border type stuff. And I am going to frame this one, and I have just bought a frame to put it in as well that I think will go with it. Well, I'm hoping actually. I think it's going to be a bit of a close run thing as to whether the frame I've bought is going to be big enough, but if it's not, I'll just buy a bigger frame, won't I? So This one is stitched on Cafe au Lait, which is a 32 count, and it's by Fabric Flair. And it's nice, this, it's really easy stitching. It's a 32 count even weave, this isn't a linen, this one. So, and I am using all the call for colours, so this is in Classic Colourworks. Okay, so that's that one. And almost everything I've been stitching on, I think, is a stitch along, basically. So the next one I'm going to show you, and I have put a bit of work into this one as well. So this one is Fancy Blackets Harvest Dance, and it's by Pineberry Lane. And again, I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And I've made quite a bit of progress on this one. This is a stitch along that I'm doing with Crafting Kirsty. So Kirsty's changed hers slightly. She's taken out the Fancy Blacket bit and put in Harvest Dance instead, which looks really good, as it happens, really good. And she's stitching hers on a really nice fabric. I really like it. So here's where I'm at with mine. So I've obviously done the bird on the pumpkin, the crow, and I've started these corn here. And Kirsty, in case you're watching, I did bite the bullet and do the French knots. They're not 100% brilliant. So on here, this is finished in straight stitch with French knots on the top. And the French knots are not entirely even, but then I thought, well, you know, if you saw a corn growing in the field, would it have all even bits on top? No, of course it wouldn't. So mine looks authentic. That's what I'm telling myself, and that they're not coming out, and I'm not doing them again because they were a bit of a nuisance to do. So I'm stitching this on a 36 count fabric. This is 36 count linen. It's called Brown Paper, and it's by EmmaXstitching Designs. I'm using the called for DMC. This is stitched 1/2, and except those French knots. I kept trying to make the French knots using only one strand, and even though it's on 36 count, they kept falling through the hole, and they just didn't look right. So I ended up doing it with 2 strands, and I think it looks okay. I'm happy with it, so that's fine. It doesn't matter then, does it? So that's my Fancy Blacket. Right, the next one I worked on again is another stitch along. This one is hosted by Amanda and Kim, so Amanda Albastitcher and Kim the Contented Stitcher, and it's their Tudor Bee sale. And a lot of people have been stitching this, and a lot of people have actually finished it, and I haven't yet. So this is by the Blue Flower Tudor Bee, and it's a really nice little chart. I haven't done masses to it since you last saw it. Hopefully I've put a picture in of where you saw it last time, and this is where I'm at with it now. So I've done this honeycomb bit down the bottom here, and I don't think you can really see the white bits that are filled in, and then obviously at the top with this crown above that. So that's where I'm at with this. This is stitched on 32 count linen by EmmaXstitching Designs, and it's called Baby Sheep, and I'm using the called for DMC. I think the choice, you had the choice of MPIs or DMC, and I hadn't got the MPI, so I went with DMC on that one, and it looks fine in my opinion. So yeah, I do like stitching that. Okay, so the next one that I stitched on is a new start, and I haven't put any pictures of this one on Instagram yet. Sorry, Ali. I will put my progress report when I think I've got a decent enough photo of what to report really. So this one is Salem Trials, The Witch Hunt, which is by the Little Stitcher, who has a shop on Etsy. So as I've said before, you know, I have a real fascination with Salem. So and with Halloween coming, I really wanted to stitch something a bit witchy and dark. So I'm doing this one as a stitch along with Albastitcher. And knowing Ali, she's probably miles ahead of me. She hasn't posted any pictures either, so I think she's keeping it quiet. How far she's got ahead of me, probably. So all I've done with this is I've done this long line here, and then there's some wording underneath that, and I have started one of the ladies' dresses, and I decided to pick the hardest dress first. So this one's got the most of one block colour on it, and it is one big dress. I've gone from doing a stitch along with Ali, which had a massive house, and now this one is ladies with massive dresses. So this one I am stitching on 32 count, and it's Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, and I am using all the called for colours, and they're just DMC. And this is a needle minder you haven't seen before. I hadn't got a Halloween one to put on this because I've got it on something else. This one I got from Craftie Emily, and it's like a little steampunky heart, which I think is really sweet. So yeah, I thought I'd lighten the mood with this particular piece by putting something colourful on it. So yeah, and I'm enjoying stitching this. It's really good to stitch on. So that's that one. And then this morning, like I say, I've been on Dizzystitcher's Zoom meetup, which was really good to have a good stitchy chat. It's a real stitchy chat type day today. Not only have I been on a Zoom meeting for a couple of hours chatting to my fellow stitchers, but then I get to chat to all of you on my Flosstube as well. So it's been really good. Really enjoyed myself. So this is my Zoom piece that I like to stitch on. Sorry if it's a little bit glary in my ring light there. So this is my little Mill Hill kit, which is called Olive Oil, and it's from their autumn series. And I should have got a bit of board out. I wonder if I can show it off the back of this. And this is where it's at after my efforts this morning. So I've completely finished this side bit now that says olive oil, and I've started coming across the top here which says extra virgin, or hopefully it will once I filled in the other colour in it. So yeah, not doing too bad on that one at all. Really pleased with how that's coming along. And then I really wasn't I was only half going to show you the final piece that I've worked on. I thought, shall I show it or shan't I? Shall I just say I've started it and not show it because there's hardly anything worth showing? And then I thought, oh, blow it, I will just show you. So this one is by the Primitive Hare, and it's Old Salem Broom Company, which is this one. And I started this one the other day. This is literally all I've done on it. So it's just this bit of the witch here. So it's literally just a couple of lines of stitching. I thought, oh, shall I bother showing it or not? And I thought, oh well. It gives me a bit of a starting point, doesn't it, for my next video when I show the amazing amount of progress that I've made on it next time, hopefully. So my needle minder on this one is a little witch, as you can see. It's one of my needle minders from Just So Heavenly. The fabric on this is also from the Primitive Hare, and it's called Old Salem, which was the called for fabric. It's a 30 count. It's okay. It's not my favourite linen to work on. It's okay. It's better than some. And I'm using the called for colours for this, which are, I can't remember it now whether they're Gentle Arts or Classic Colourworks. I can't remember. I'll have to let you know next time for definite, but I've got a feeling they're Gentle Arts threads. And there's only 2 colours, so actually, you know, that's quite reasonable to get up, isn't it, with only 2 colours in it. The disadvantage of that is a bit monotonous stitching just in black. So that's that one. So yes, so that is all of my WIPS. So you're probably thinking, well, is that it then? She's normally done loads more than that. And you're right, I have normally done loads more than that. And I definitely need to get some of my other projects back out again, because I haven't stitched on my long dog, I haven't stitched on my mirror. So yeah, and this weekend is Blackbird weekend, so I need to get Strawberry Fields out, so I will probably do that this afternoon actually. So yeah, so that's where I am with WIPS. Okay, so I'm going to answer your questions next, and then we will do my shopping that I've done, and then, like I say, we'll talk about stitching retreats. So questions. So I've answered one already. So my next question was around knitting actually, and I have answered her anyway, but just in case anybody else was interested. So I have in the past showed you socks that I've been knitting. So I've been knitting some shorty socks. I have got a pair on the go at the moment that I'm in the middle of knitting, and I don't show them to you until they're finished. So Sarah Sherwood asked me what sock pattern I use, and the one that I use is Rose City Rollers sock pattern. I have only been knitting, I've been knitting for a very long time, but I only started knitting socks a year ago. So prior to that I thought they were a bit fiddly, I thought they had to be done on DPNs, and I'm not a big lover of DPNs. And then I came across Simply in Stitches, who has a YouTube channel. And I'm sure a lot of you that are knitters have come across Tina from Simply in Stitches before. So she did a tutorial for ankle socks, which I followed. I think it's a vanilla sock pattern from Ravelry that she used for that one. And then she did these shorty sock ones as well, and I've followed both of her tutorials to the point where I've now made enough socks that I don't need to follow her tutorials anymore, but they are very, very good. I thoroughly recommend them. They're the best ones that I've come across, as she showed how to knit socks on circular needles, and I haven't looked back since. So yeah, if you're interested in knitting socks and you haven't done it before, go check out Simply in Stitches. She also has lots of other projects on there for new knitters as well. I think she's got a sweater tutorial, and there's one for shawls and cowls and all that kind of thing. Okay, so then Dawn Duval asked me several questions. So she asked me, am I a fast stitcher? Well, Dawn, no I'm not. No, I am not. When I watch other people's stitch alongs, no, I'm definitely not a fast stitcher. Am I a two-handed stitcher? Yes, sometimes, yeah. I do a bit of both actually. So if I'm up here, this is my craft room, if I'm up here, my Lowry stand is up here, and I'll put a project on my Lowry stand and I stitch two-handed, and I'm quite comfortable with stitching two-handed. If it's the evening and I'm downstairs in the lounge, I find I use a mag light, and I just find it a bit too awkward to have the Lowry stand and the mag light as well. So in the evening I stitch holding my project in its frame using the stabbing method, and I'm quite happy using either really. So so yeah, it doesn't bother me. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't stitched in hand. I haven't really tried that. The only project I do that with is my little Mill Hill kit because it's on stiff perforated paper. Do I have a long stretch of time to devote to stitching each evening? This is the other question that Dawn asked me. Sometimes. So yeah, well, I don't go out an awful lot in the evening, so if it's a day when I'm working, I probably only have 2 hours tops to stitch, so I might get a couple of 100 stitches done. If it's a day when I'm not working, then I normally stitch for about 2 hours in the afternoon and probably 3 or 4 hours in the evening. So yeah, I do get quite a bit of stitchy time then. I only ever work on my full coverage projects in the evening. I don't work on them during the day, and my small projects I work on in the afternoon or at the weekend. So stitchy time at the weekend varies a bit because we tend to, Saturdays is my best stitchy day, Sundays my husband's at home, so we tend to do a few bits and pieces together. So yeah, so it varies really. Okay, so then Angela Springett asked me, did I pay tax on my silks for you? Yes, I did, Angela. And what was the cost? I don't know. I have had a look, Angela, for you to see if I could find out how much I paid, and I can't. I think it was quite expensive, but I really wanted the silk, so I kind of swallowed the cost. I think between shipping and tax was probably about 1/3 of the price of the silk again, if you see what I mean. Next time I get some silks for you, I'll let you know. To be fair, it came from Australia, and when I've bought Mrs. Seydas silk from Spain, it's about the same price. So it wasn't really any more expensive. And then my friend Ali Stitcher asked me a few questions as well. She said, how do I decide what to stitch on each day? It's just whatever calls to me, basically. So I am a stitch what you want to, when you want to, a sweewee stitcher. So yeah, it's whatever I feel like stitching on the day. I kind of have a look at my project bags and I think, yeah, that one hasn't been out lately, let's get that one out. Do I have targets or rotation each week or month? Well, sort of. So with my full coverage projects, I like to try and touch all of them between each Flosstube filming, if you like. So normally when I've been filming every 3 weeks, I would normally try and make sure that I've done something on all 4 of my full coverage. That obviously didn't happen this time because I only left it 2 weeks and I could only fit 3 in. But even with them, so I pulled out last time So Many Books First because it was the one that got the least attention from the time before. So I do try and give them all a little bit of love, but then this time I got so engrossed in stitching that mouse on cheese delivery that it got much more time than any of the others. So no, I'm not really that organised, to be honest. And I find if I give myself too much of a target, I feel under a bit of pressure, and I don't think cross stitch is my hobby. I don't want to put myself under any pressure really, because I just want to enjoy what I do. So, you know, so for example, I was thinking the other day about unicorns. Unicorns total is 325,000 stitches, and so far on that piece I've done 7% of it's complete now. I've done 23,000 stitches, and I just thought, I started unicorns at the end of November last year, so I'm thinking, wow, that's going to come up to its anniversary. I'll have had it a year soon, and I've only done 20-odd thousand stitches on it. If I carry on at that rate, I'll be popping my clogs before it's ever finished. So yeah, I try not to think about targets and how long it's going to take me to finish something. And then she said, and this one I think is a bit tongue-in-cheek, Ali, how soon am I going to start the 42 projects I mentioned in my last video? Because I said, oh, I want to start this one, I want to start that one. I think 42 might have been a slight exaggeration. I don't know, is the answer to that one. So I have got a plan in my mind, if you like, of when I want to start all these things. And I have obviously started 2 of them, one of which is the one I'm doing with you, Ali, which is Salem Witches. The other one I said I was going to start was the broom one. I had got another couple, like the long dog that I want to start, and there is an Owl Forest embroidery one that I want to start, but hold that thought on at Owl Forest because I have something to say about that shortly. And that was all my questions, so that's quite a few, isn't it? I was really pleased to get those, so thank you. And if anybody has any more questions, just feel free to ask at any time. Okay, so I'm going to show you my haul next. So we will start with charts. And do you know what, until the other day I was feeling a bit guilty about how many charts I've bought, and I seem to have bought quite a lot recently, and I thought, do you know what, maybe I need to stop buying charts. Maybe I need to, you know, be really good like a lot of other people are, and do like a no buying any charts year next year or something. And then a couple of people, and this kind of resonated with me really, a couple of people this week on Instagram had put that actually collecting charts is a completely separate hobby to cross stitching, and I thought, yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, of course it is. It's nothing to do with cross stitching, collecting charts, is it? So, and then I was watching Michelle McGraw's latest video the other day, and she was showing her basket of winter charts, and she'd got tons of them, and I just thought it makes my collection look quite small in comparison. So actually, do you know what, if I want to buy a chart, I'm going to buy a chart. So, and I have just pre-ordered a few from the Needlework Expo actually, so I'm looking forward to getting those. But in the meantime, I have got some that have arrived anyway. So the first one that I bought, I signed up for the Patchwork Rabbit, are doing a bit of a monthly club for Country Cottage Needleworks Samplers of the Month, and I first saw them, Lauren at Flossabilities showed them on one of her videos, and I think she got the first 6 of them for her birthday, and I really liked them, and I thought, oh, I'd really like to get those. But like I say, Patchwork Rabbit were doing where you get 1 a month, and I thought, oh, that'd be nice to get just a nice little bit of happy mail every month that I know I'm gonna definitely get. So I've started them with the September one. I'm not sure I'm gonna stitch it this month along with the other 42 starts, Ali, but I have bought September's to start with, and then obviously I'll get another one and another one until I've got all 12. So yeah, so I was quite pleased with that. So that's from Patchwork Rabbit. Then this chart I'd been eyeing up for quite a while, and it was sold out everywhere I looked in the UK. So I bought it from 123 Stitch, and this is from Hello from Liz Matthews, and I'm sure lots of you have seen this chart. This is the 4th day of Christmas, and I really want to have a go at making this tree. I know that Elizabeth Ann Stitch has been doing this. She's the one who enabled me to get this chart. So, and I think she's either finished hers or nearly finished it, so I really liked it. Don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I do really like it. So that's that one. And while I was at it, 1, 2, 3 stitch, because obviously no chart can ever travel alone, can it? And certainly not all the way across the pond. So I also bought another hello from Liz Matthews, and this is the first time I've bought charts from her actually, and I've ended up buying 3. So the other one I got from 1, 2, 3 stitch was this one, and it's another one of these trees, and this is called Swan Tree, and I really liked this as well. Sorry if that's a bit glary. I have taken it out of the plastic, but it's on shiny paper. So yeah, isn't that sweet? So again, I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I do like it. And then another chart that I got is also hello from Liz Matthews, but I got this one from Peakside Needleworks. So this one I was enabled by Sewmesarah. So thank you, Sarah, for enabling me to get this one. So if you haven't been to Sewmesarah's Flosstube channel, it's really good and I thoroughly recommend it. So she's got lots of lovely patterns, and occasionally her dear little daughter Charlotte makes an appearance as well. And she does quilts too, and they're gorgeous. So yeah, so check out Sewmesarah if you haven't already. But she enabled me to buy Clara Hanson, which, like I say, is hello from Liz Matthews. And I have got, I'm going to swap out the colour. I do like this colour, and I agree with you actually, Sarah. It's greener than it actually looks in the picture. And I would prefer, if it were me, I think the teal that you've picked is probably a better choice. But I have got a variegated blue Mrs. Sadas silk that I've been kind of umming and ahhing what to do with, and I think I'm going to use it for this, but I'm not going to stitch the sampler, I'm going to stitch the drum, because I really want to have a go at making that drum. So there we go, that's those ones. So they're my paper charts. I haven't bought any PDFs this time. Right, last time I videoed, I told you I had got some haul from Our Forest Embroidery, and I had been completely enabled by EmmaXstitching. So thank you, Emma. So I bought 3 kits from Our Forest, and they're ones that Emma showed on her video, and I know that she's started one of them because I've seen her picture on Instagram. So they're the snail houses, and I saw them and thought, oh my god, they're so cute. So this one is called Strawberries, which I think is the one that Emma is stitching in the minute. Isn't it cute? And then I also bought this one. So this one is Forget-Me-Nots. Again, really cute. And finally I bought this one. Which I'm not sure what this one's called, actually. Anyway, it's really cute, and if you go on their website you'll see them. Talking of Our Forest, I have got some more haul to come from Our Forest. So, and I was going to start one of those snail houses, but the haul that I've got to come, I absolutely have to start one of what I've ordered. So I've ordered 3 kits. I'm not going to tell you what, I was hoping they'd come in time for me to film today, but they haven't. I think they'll probably arrive next week. Months and months ago, I was watching Stacey, the 911stitcher, and she showed these little kits. And I have been waiting ever since for them to come back in stock. All of them, there's about 8 of these kits. They were all out of stock, and I religiously went on Our Forest probably at least once a week to check and see if they were back in stock. And finally, after months, and I think it must have been about 3 months ago, maybe even longer, that they've been out of stock for, and I thought maybe they're never going to come back in stock, but they have. So there's a bit of a teaser for you, because I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'll show them to you when they arrive. I think there's 8 in the series, and I've ordered 3 of them. So yeah, they're to come. Okay, fabric. Yes, of course I've bought fabric. I wasn't actually going to until I went on. I had got one piece that I'd already ordered from 123 Stitch, which came with the charts I've just showed you. So I'll show you that first actually. So apologies for bending over, but I have all my haul bits over here. So I bought this piece of linen, which looks a bit green actually in this light, and it's not, it's like a dark grey. So this is a piece of Weeks Dye Works, which I said I wouldn't stitch on Weeks anymore. I'm doing Strawberry Fields on Weeks, and I'm not over keen on their linen. This is their old Weeks, it's not the Zweigart one. But I bit the bullet and bought this. This is the 32 count, but it's Dolphin, and I wanted it for Sarah Jackson, so which is a chart that a lot of you I know will have seen because it's really popular. But I wanted the actual fabric to go with that chart, so that is for Sarah Jackson. That's called Dolphin. So that's the only piece I got from 123 Stitch. So then I got some fabric from Peakside. So I happened to go on Peakside last weekend, I think it was, and nearly fell over because they'd got Picture This Plus fabric back in stock, which was exciting. So I bought, I could only get a small piece of this one. So this is 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. But I'm sure I will find something. I really like the modelling in this, and I love the colour. Definitely would get more of that. So that's that one. And then I bought this one. So I got a fat quarter of this one. So this is 32 count Wren. Again, Picture This Plus. So I like that too. Can't wait to stitch on that. I also bought this one, which is 36 count Ale, again by Picture This Plus. Really pleased with that. I just love Picture This Plus fabric actually. So and then finally, this one's not Picture This Plus, but I've been waiting for this to come in for quite a while. This again was from Peakside, and it's 32 count Tobias by Seraphim. So I've got some really nice neutrals there to work with. And then I'd gone on Lakeside Needlecrafts because I treated myself to a new little pair of scissors, which are these ones here, and I'm really impressed with these scissors actually. They're really good. They're in red and gold, and they're I can't remember what the brand is called, but they're made in Italy. They're really sharp little scissors, and while I was on there they were having a sale off of their fabric, so I just bought this piece. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's called Autumn Leaves. It's a fabric flare fabric, and it is a 36 count, and it was really cheap. It was in their sale. I think I only paid about £4 for it. It's very autumny looking. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but you know, it can go in my fabric stash. Okay, so that's all my haul. Like I say, I've got those Our Forest bits to come. and I have got some picture of this plus fabric to come from 123 Stitch, and then apart from that, oh, and plus the Needlework Expo stuff that I've ordered as well, which I haven't ordered that much, but there you go. Okay, I have made a couple of project bags. Now I've dropped down to doing 3 days at work. I had an afternoon of doing some stitchy stuff, so some sewing rather than stitching. Oops. So I'll show you these just in case you're interested. So I think I showed you the fabric for this one, which was my chicken fabric, and I made it into a vinyl fronted project bag. Haven't got a project I've put in it yet. I've put a little bee charm on this one. So I made that one, and then this one I have kitted up and put a project in. So this one was the vintage fabric that I showed you before, and I finished it off with a polka dot navy inside. You can see it's kicked up with a project, and I put a little sewing machine on this one. And the project that's in there ready to go, though I haven't started it yet, is Sweater Weather, which I showed you last time, which was a Christmassy project. So I was a bit lucky with these charms actually. I used to make jewellery many moons ago, and I was having a rummage through some of my old jewellery stuff, looking to see if I'd got any charms or any beads that might be of use to me now, and I came across a whole stash of different charms. So I was like, oh, that's good, I didn't know I had those. So yeah, so that's the project bags that I've made. So that Sweater Weather I'm probably gonna start at some point soon, I would say. Okay, so next I want to announce my giveaway winner. So I haven't got a giveaway for this time, even though I have finally reached 600 subscribers. Well, at last count this morning I had 623, so welcome to the 24 new people that have joined since last time, and yeah, so it's gradually crept up a little bit. And thank you as well for, I think it was Owlandgator, who pointed out to me what the magic number of 1,000 subscribers, what the benefits of that are. So thank you, Owlandgator, Debbie, for letting me know. And if you haven't checked her out, she's got a really good Flosstube channel as well, and she's in our under 1,000 subs club. So if you haven't already, go and check out Owlandgator. She's got a lot of full coverage projects, so yeah, really good, really enjoyed watching her. I have another shout out as well, that I want to give a shout out to Bernie at Hooking and Stitching. She's a UK stitcher. Oh, Owlandgator's in Florida, by the way, but Bernie, yeah, she's Hooking and Stitching. I think she's the Little Grey Hook on Instagram. So she's got some really good projects. She does a bit of a mix. She's got a couple of really good full coverage projects, one of which is of a cat which looks like one of her cats, and it's just gorgeous. And she's got lots of other small projects as well. So, and she seems to like making project bags the same as I do. She does a lot of crochet too, and she's got some really lovely crochet projects. So go and check out Bernie. She's got a really good channel. That's Hooking and Stitching. Anybody that I've mentioned I will put in the show notes below, by the way. So yeah, giveaway winner. Sorry, I digress again. So I did say I was a bit all over the place today, didn't I? Apologies for that. So my giveaway winner is Dawn Duval. So I will put a picture in. I forgot to put the picture in last time from Random Comment Picker, so I'll try and remember to do that this time. But Dawn, congratulations, you have won a Hare PDF. And thanks for all the questions that you sent me as well. Hopefully I've answered all of those to your satisfaction. So if you can get in touch with me, Dawn, and I can have your email address, then we can sort, and you can let me know which Hade you would like, that would be great. So, and it'd be really lovely to know what you pick, and it would be really nice if you would let my viewers know which Hade pattern that you pick as well. So let me know, get in touch with me, and congratulations, I will comment on your comment from last time. Right, okay, so my last bit for today is around retreats. So I did tell you last video that myself and Teresalittlestitcher are organising a stitching retreat. So I contacted Teresa because I felt that we don't seem to have any stitchy retreats in our area, and Teresa lives in Essex, the same as me. She's a bit further south than I am. I'm in the north of Essex, she's in the south. So I work in a hotel, for those that have followed me or subscribed to me and watched my channel before. So the hotel that I work at is at Stansted Airport, and I thought, well, why don't I take advantage of that fact and see if I can book a stitching retreat at my hotel. So I got hold of Teresa and asked her if she'd be interested, because I've never been to a stitching retreat, so I don't quite know, you know, what happened. Obviously I know people stitch at them, but I don't quite know, you know, what would be a good number of people, what kind of, do we have to put on some kind of events for people, what does it look like, and I know she goes on them. So anyway, I said to her, shall we organise one, and she said yes, let's. So we've had a couple of phone conversations, and which have been thoroughly enjoyable and very, very long. I think the first time I chatted to Teresa was about an hour and a half, and last time was a couple of 2.5 hours. So so yeah, it's been great to chat to her. Anyway, we have organised the retreat. So Teresa has today put this out on her Flosstube, so I'm doing the same, although I'm sure most of my subscribers are Teresa's subscribers anyway. It's also going on Instagram and Facebook, so hopefully we've covered all the media that you know, people that would be interested in a stitching retreat. Hopefully we've covered you all, as well as just on Flosstube. So this is the Essex Needles Retreat, is what we've called it, and it is going to run from Friday the 18th of March until Sunday the 20th of March 2022, and the venue is the Novotel at Stansted Airport. So if anybody, you know, were wanting to fly in from Europe, it's not a problem, because you know, Stansted gets a lot of flights from Europe in normal times, although it is gradually getting better again now. If you want to stay on the Thursday night ready for the retreat starting on the Friday, you can, it's not a problem. You would just need to let us know. So you can stay the Thursday night, bed and breakfast, for an extra £50. We have got, for those that want to drive, the hotel has got parking, and parking is included in the price of the weekend, so no problem to park. The stitching room is a really big room, and it is going to be available to us from Friday the 18th at 8 AM until Sunday the 20th at 5 PM. Okay, so we've got plenty of stitchy time in a very nice size room. So the price, which I'm sure you're all waiting for with bated breath, is £250 per person, which includes your meals and a double room. So we only have double rooms at Stansted, we don't have any single rooms. You can share a room because obviously they're doubles. It's £160 per person if you want to share a room. But I will tell you that we only have double beds in our room. So, you know, you've got to be very friendly if you're going to share a bed together. So, so yeah, I leave that one with you. So we felt that the fairest way to do this is to set up an email, and that you can email us on the 10th of September, okay, from 8 AM in the morning, and that's 8 AM UK time. So if you're in Europe, it's obviously 9 AM. So 8 AM UK time. If you email us before 8 AM, it won't count, okay? So we really wanted to make it fair and not just like people like, we just wanted to make it as fair as we could possibly be. So that's why we've set kind of a kind of start date. This is the date, 10th of September. The email address is essexneedlesretreat@gmail.com, and I am going to link that below. I will put it in the show notes, okay? So we have 45 spaces available. So the first 45 emails that we get will get a space, okay? And you will have to pay a £50 deposit, which is payable by the 30th of September. And we will tell you, once you've signed up and you've got a space, we'll contact you with how to pay your deposit, and then we will have another couple of payments after that, so you don't have to pay the whole bulk in one hit. It will be broken down into a couple of payments for you. Okay, as well as that, for anybody who can't afford either the time to come away for a whole weekend, you know, maybe you've got kids and you can't get away for the whole weekend, but you're fairly local and you could come for the day. So, you know, I know we have quite a few viewers kind of in Kent or even in Essex that maybe don't want to come for the whole weekend but would perhaps like to come for one day. We are offering a day delegate package, which is for the Saturday, so that's the 19th of March, which will be £50 for the day, and that includes your lunch and dinner. Okay, so if you want, again, if you want to come just for the day, please email us, and if you do want to come for the day, you don't have to wait for the 10th of September. You can email us anytime with that, because we haven't got to restrict so many, you know, we haven't got to restrict spaces for that, because like I say, we've got a really big room to use, so we can accommodate people, unless we suddenly get like 200 day delegates. I don't think we would, but you know. So we will obviously, once we get to the 10th, we'll confirm back to you. It will be either myself or Teresa will confirm back to you whether you've got a space, or we will keep a few people on reserve, because you know, things happen in life, don't they? And hopefully everybody who signs up for it will be able to attend. But if for some reason you can't, then we will keep a few people in reserve as well. So that's the detail about our retreat, and I am so excited. I can't wait. I really can't wait to meet some of you and to be able to spend a whole weekend stitching and chatting and seeing what you're working on, and it's going to be really great, really fun. Can't wait to see you. So so yeah, that I think is everything I've got. So let me know if this filming every 2 weeks works, or whether you think I should go back to 3 weeks. If you don't think I've shown you enough stitching this time, then let me know, and you know, we can go back to doing 3 weeks. I had got a couple of other bits that I wanted to cover off this time, but they're not massively important, they can wait. So just a reminder, Dawn Duval, please get in touch with me and we can sort your Hare out. Stitching retreat info is below with the email, and I'll put a bit of info in the show notes as well. And I think that's it from me for today. So happy stitching, everybody. Stay safe, take care, have a great 2 weeks, and I'll see you in either 2 or 3 weeks depending on what you say. Keep your comments coming. If you've enjoyed this video and this is your first time visiting me, it would be great if you wanted to subscribe, so please do. Anyway, I've waffled on for long enough now, I think, so take care everybody. See you soon. Bye for now.